peace family, peace to you and yours. We're here with one of my good brothers, Brother Mike, a pillar in the community, an activist in the community. I'm gonna let him tell you everything else that he does.
Peace family. Brother Mike, I'm live and direct, Brooklyn. Part of an organization called Sankofa Community Empowerment. Peace to my brothers and sisters out there. We're just trying to build leaders in the black community so that we can do our part to educate us, empower us, and put us in a better position than we are today. So that's Sankofa Community Empowerment. That's what's up.
That's up. We were building about, Baba,
yes,
Dr.
sir.
Sebi, and I know that you've embraced the health and wellness lifestyle, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I tell that to everybody with the reverse clock. You know what I'm saying? Some people got the doomsday clock, your shit going reverse. You on Benjamin Button time.
Yes, sir.
So let them know what led to the embracing of that vegan lifestyle or the health and wellness lifestyle for you.
I would say the first thing is just being around brothers like yourself, Brothers Rich, just having a community of folks who, when you know better, you do better. So I had a community of brothers and sisters who kind of embraced me, always shared the knowledge with me. You know what I mean? I was always, trying to get to better myself in some way, shape, or form. But just being around brothers like yourself, your brother, Brother Rich, like all of the crew that was always there trying to feed me information and always sharing shit with me. So that's what kind of got me. And then seeing what y'all was doing and stuff like that. That was always the bigger thing. It wasn't just y'all talking about it, but y'all was being about it. It's like, how am I be there half-stepping? And I got brothers like this pushing me, and y'all always push me to do better. Brother Rich, me and him used to be at his table over on
Voting.
You know what I mean? Busting out the push-ups.
When the bus almost hits you every 10 minutes.
challenging each other to be better. So I credit that brother a lot also for my journey and also putting me on to Dr. Sebi, because that's where I first found out about him. Watching the videos and stuff.
Rich had the video, the library.
Exactly.
What
so
did
that was my first exposure.
What impact did Sebi have on you at first? Like I like to speak to a lot of people about what was the first impression when you heard his voice, when you saw what, because everybody says, oh, I heard about him on the internet, I heard he cured AIDS. It's like, no. What was your first time though? Like, what did it do for you?
Right. Okay. So the first time it was like, yo, the stuff he's telling you to give up. It's like, let me see if there's another doctor I can mess with. Let me go over here for a second, because
this one here,
right here. But so I was just like, all right, let me kind of ease my way into it. So my first experience was like, yo, this is crazy. This shit is crazy. Ain't no way in the world. But then as I gradually started getting into it and stuff like that, I started seeing, again, the benefits of it, my energy levels and stuff like that. And I would kind of experiment. You got to be a scientist with it. You can't just take somebody's word for it, regardless of who it is. You got to kind of experiment with it. So what I would do is, sometimes I would do some of the stuff he would say, and then I would not do it. You know what I mean? And then I would go in a different direction with it and see, like, all right, now I'm really starting to see the benefits from it. Not just, it's not just a mental thing, because I would get the impression based off of hearing about it, but I'm actually living it and challenging it myself. So that's how I started to really benefit from it. And it's still a journey for me. I haven't got there yet, but every day is better and better. We just did a fruit and veggie fast with Brother Rich, 7-day fast.
7 days.
It's crazy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And your brother KT was hitting us with all of the information. You know what I mean? And once again, it's that community that made it hot. That community, you know what I mean? It's just us pushing each other.
Speaking about communities, you're in Brooklyn. Dr. Sebi's name, Harlem, I was in Atlanta, we were in LA. He's buzzing everywhere. But one of the places that I could definitely say that I can see his impact on not just the people, but the businesses. Because it's one thing to inspire people to eat a certain way, then there's another thing to inspire somebody to build a brand around your diet list, or what I'm seeing in Brooklyn is that the youth, in particular, young people from 40 and under, are beginning to really move You know, a sister told me that I was Sabi approved. Said I was a snack.
Yes.
Sabi approved. So
the Food and Drug Administration.
It's trending in BK hard.
Right. Nobody needs.
I would say around the globe.
Around the globe is trending. I don't even want to relegate him to a borough.
Yes, sir.
He's trending globally. He's a household name. In the past few months, there's people who never. I'm talking about face tap thugs. They talking about, yo, I got that moss on deck.
Yes.
I got that water.
Yes.
So, what are you seeing in your travels about the impact that Dr. Sabi is having on the community, the village?
I would say it's like underground Black Panther impact, brother. Like it's crazy. Like here in Brooklyn, first of all, Brooklyn is its own planet.
Planet Brooklyn.
You know what I mean? So it's the planet of Brooklyn here. So you know, you can always get a feel of what's popping when you come to Brooklyn. Brooklyn is like the heartbeat of New York. Really.
That's right.
It's the soul of New York.
That's the pulse.
Exactly. So if you want to test things, you come here. I mean, Dr. Sabi had a shop right here, not too far from here.
Where the Barclays Center is right now.
Yes, so, you know, the impact that it has here on Brooklyn, to your point, people from the elders to the street, to the youngins and stuff. I mean, we live in the information age, so it's pretty hard to keep this stuff under wraps nowadays, so.
Well, we actually live in the experience age.
Yes.
They
manifestation too, yes.
Yes. I believe it was after the jump of, if not 2012, 2016, we entered the experience age. So now...
Yes. The age of manifestation.
Exactly. So now all of the information that was gathered from the master teachers, from Dr. Sabi, DanceAfrica, Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, peace, King, Dr. Francis Chris Wilson.
Yes.
Now, when you experience the information, it turns into the age of experience. So we're living it out now.
Absolutely.
People are living they're living their teaching, they're living the lessons. So the age of experience, and even with technology is gearing towards experience, not information.
Yes, sir.
So the age of experience is us experiencing who we truly are, so we can get back to who we truly were.
Absolutely.
That's the age that we're gonna come, not in the age of information, because in the age of information, it's only the prepping stage. So from 2020 on, it's been predicted by our ancestors that this is supposed to be the quote-unquote, not the awakening, but the reimagining.
Right.
Because we already woke. You know what I mean?
This is to put it in perspective to me. This is how I knew Dr. Sabi was popular. I started seeing vegan parties. Like on a regular. And I'm not talking about
vegan parties.
I'm talking about vegan parties. Like you go there and the music is on.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro.
That's Brooklyn for you.
It's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. And this is how you know that Dr. Sabi is popping like that. When you start seeing club-like situations and house parties, and it's all vegan.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
So now they want to experience veganism, because the informative years, they wanted to research what's sea moss, what's the benefits of green, what's an electric body. It's about, then they were debating. So they were debating information, they were battling it. Now we're in a point where you can look at somebody, the babies are vegan. Can I show the young guard?
Yes.
Can I show the baby? Look at the baby. The future is vegan. So the parents are experiencing the benefits of an electric diet by doing what? Raising their children vegan. And I'm not shooting at what we were doing 5 and 10 years ago, but a lot of parents were like, oh man, that vaccination thing, that's not right. Vaccinate them. Oh man, eating healthy, that's the wave. McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? So we weren't necessarily ready to experience changing our lifestyle. Now, I'm talking about, I've had conversations with 5-year-olds, and if it was just over the phone, you would swear I was talking to a young adult.
Yes, indeed.
The brain, their brains, breast milk, no cow's milk, no vaccinations, electric food, peace, alkaline water. Their brains are developing like this. And remember, the babies are born hardwired to be digital. If they eat in Big Macs, it don't matter.
Right. That's a true statement.
How does a 2-year-old know how to work the iPhone X? And they just had the turtleneck, the keynote They just came out last week. You come home with it, the 2-year-old is opening up pages and freeze framing and screenshotting. Come on. So these yeah.
And it's the whole process, like you said, it's been a process of development too. So it wasn't just something that happened right off the bat. It was stages of things that's going on.
To talk to your people about technology and to tell us to teach our children about coding and getting familiar with the computer.
Yes.
You just made a statement saying that the babies are hardwired from the age of 2. They know how to maneuver around that computer.
Yes.
Now, how do you feel about the bigwigs, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs when he was alive?
Yes.
And the list goes on. They don't want their children with computers at all.
Yes.
They don't want their children with iPads at all.
Yes.
They don't want their children with none of that. A cell phone. So we may think that, oh, I got to give my kid this because he's going to get left behind in the technological age.
Yes.
But it seems like they're not worried about that and they're keeping that away from their children.
Yes.
So what's your take on that?
My take on what they're doing is because of the position that they're in. A Stephen Jobs and a Bill Gates already has plans 10, 20 years ahead as to what they're going to do to hand down their business and their operation to the children. He's not telling the children at MIT don't continue to code. He's not telling his staff at Apple don't code because he's going to benefit off of that worker class and whatnot. But his children, he's preparing them for legacy. Bill Gates is going to hand down the foundation. Bill and, what is his wife? Bill and Melinda. Their children more than likely will inherit that aspect. They have shareholders, chair board members. They're going to more than likely deal with, you know, the bigger companies. Case in point, when Steve Jobs died, Tim Cook took over. It wasn't, he didn't hand it over to his children because I don't think they were ready to succeed and whatnot. So I would acknowledge that part, and I would acknowledge the fact that there are dangers in technology because of the 5G and because of the cancer. I believe that Stephen Jobs, and I may be incorrect, but I believe that he died from exposure to so much of that, so much of those rays and the gammas and the radiation and whatnot. He sacrificed his husk. He sacrificed the body to push $1 trillion company. Apple is right around the corner. To push $1 trillion company, which he still lives on because when the iPhone X drops, Steve Jobs is there. When they come out with the glasses, Steve Jobs will live on. So his body is not here, but his ideas and concepts still live on. Now, if he took a radical stance to whereas he was trying to curtail his business, computers and tech, and say this is not good for the world, then I would understand. But when I see them doing that with their children, I only see that they're setting their children up for philanthropy, they're setting them up for politics, and they're setting them up because as a technological person who went on Capitol Hill and dealing with the bigwigs, he knows where the real power is at. It's not in Apple, it's on Capitol Hill. So you get your bloodline in politics and you're in big business and corporations, you could benefit off of that.
Well, do you think sometimes we could be so pro-black that we don't acknowledge genius?
Yeah.
And what I say that because Kanye always talks about the genius of Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
But the average, what we call woke or pro-black person, they won't acknowledge that. He's just as Chris Rock said, crack-ass cracker.
Yeah.
So do you think you think that limits us when we don't acknowledge the genius within who we call the oppressor race?
Well, one of the things that I always say, and I stand on that, is that you can never shoot down the caretaker of your information. Remember, they were the custodians. They were the custodians of our arts and sciences. And if you have any European friends, if you've befriended them, you will realize that the way that they study people in particular is there's something that we don't even have the patience to meticulously study. Yeah, and to meticulously study and copycat genius. They have master cloning genius. So when I see them displaying genius, I don't discredit them. I say, yo, who taught them that shit that was melanated? What book did they read? What African country did they go to? Whose feet did they sit at? Because you have the movement of Europeans that went into what is known as the Far East. They came back into Europe as Freemasons and what people call Illuminati. But they had to go outside of Europe to get that information. you have what is known as the Enlightenment era or the Age of Enlightenment. That Age of Enlightenment conspicuously happens when Africans are there enlightening them. You had the Moors in Europe and Portugal and Spain and the Iberian Peninsula taking the European out of the Dark Age and ushering them into the Information Age, into the Enlightenment, Age of Enlightenment. Then Black History Month pop up. Oh shit, a brother made the internet? Oh, a brother made a Soba Soka? Oh, the binary code, the zeros and ones? Oh, that's African divination, zeros and ones? That's a West African divination system. Oh, everything that runs the computer comes out of Africa? You mean the Khotan? So it's not about discrediting, it's only about reverse engineering technology and reverse engineering what you're seeing, because they're out here rolling out technology. But that don't mean that they created it. They benefited off of us being in their corporations. They benefit off of our white papers. They benefit off of people sitting in, the same way that the labels benefit off of unsigned artists sitting in their demos. Then Jay-Z pop up with the flow all of a sudden. You know how that goes.
One thing I just wanted to quickly add to that, big brother, was that it's stages of development that you have to look at. So when a person is talking about they're hating on genius, it's because they're at the very lowest level of black love.
They're not comfortable.
Right. They have to elevate themselves higher and higher to get to a level to be able to appreciate genius regardless of where it comes from. Information is information. Doesn't matter where the information is coming from. But as you develop and you get better in your understanding, you get a deeper understanding, then you start to see past that. It could be both. It could be like, yeah, this is the motherfucker who oppressed us, but that motherfucker still has the information. So it doesn't negate the information. It's like if I could drive with my feet, but it's not the best thing to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I'm not gonna hate my feet because my feet can't drive well, no.
Look,
I'm gonna use it when I need to use it.
When you open up a book, books don't discriminate.
Absolutely.
Books don't close on you because your eyeballs and hands are melanated. So I receive information wherever it may be, with the knowing that we've been pillaged. Imagine if somebody went into Grand Army Plaza Library and took all the books out and ran through Prospect Park scattering them, ran down Eastern Parkway throwing books all around the place. That's where we find our information right now. It's scattered. The Asians have it. The Vatican got it in the catacombs. Spaniards have it. It's everywhere. We're gonna start headed this way, y'all.
Let's go.
All right. So before this sky open up.